Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's your homie HerbMan. Busting you back upside the head with another hot banger. Boogie, please go tell somebody to go tell somebody your homie HerbMan is on. Yes, sir. And if you're new to the program, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please follow, like, share, and subscribe on all the platforms at Love HerbMan. All right, so we're coming live on YouTube, live on TikTok. Go get somewhere, get situated. I'm your homie HerbMan. I'm your neighborhood holistic practitioner, and this is where we teach people how to heal themselves. And you cannot heal yourself unless you know thyself. So we teach you here about the human frame and the human design so that you guys can be well on your way to the happiness, the wholeness, and the wellness that we all deserve. We all deserve this, okay, you guys? So this is a free information station. You guys don't have to pay for anything that you hear here today. All you simply got to do is pay attention. And how we do that on the HerbMan Show is by double tapping that screen and getting us up to 100,000 likes during the live broadcast. I promise you I'm going to work for these likes, all right? So you must understand that we heal faster together, my brothers and sisters, okay? We heal faster together. So we're trying to create this utopia, create this universe, create this platform, create this community that can be very, very welcoming to one another and each other's ills and wills, and be able to understand, take the pressure off of yourself. You're not bad. You're not wrong. You're just ignorant of thyself. You're miseducated, misinformed of yourself. And that's not a bad thing. That's not a wrong thing. That's not a negative thing. Okay. And when we teach you guys about the owner's manual, when we're telling you about your blueprint, when we're telling you about you can't fix something without the blueprint, you can't get material if you don't know how the building is to be built. You might order too many nails, you might order the wrong products. But if you understand your blueprint, if you get your owner's manual, it'll tell you exactly what you need, baby. And so the owner's manual for that little funky measly $50, that's what we're offering you, the opportunity to know your blueprint. And if you get the foundational blueprint, that's your owner's manual plus your material. It comes together. Okay, so you guys can go on the website if you're interested in all that type of stuff. But we're going to continue to keep doing this because here's the thing, you guys. Until we get back to our natural status, until we get back to understanding who we are in nature, is always going to be a problem. Anytime you're walking along this paradigm, right? If you're walking along this paradigm, you look at this as like a mountain and then it's a valley, right? So you're walking along this thing and you don't know thyself. And I'm telling you, and I've always been teaching you guys that some stuff that's going to come against you, you can't use just intellect. You never experienced it before. Intellect is because you saw it before, you heard it before, you thought it before, you experienced it before. Then you use your intellect. But what if you've never experienced a thing? What if this is your first time having cancer? What if this is your first time with high blood pressure, diabetes? What if this is your first time with financial issues? What if this is your first time in a relationship that's meaningful to you? What if this is something that is new to you? What do you use? Anybody know? Put that in the chat. If intellect is about previous experiences, then what do you use when you've never experienced something before? Anybody know? Put that in the chat. You guys keep tapping. I'm gonna keep talking. Let's get us up to 100K throughout the day. Okay, we need 100,000 likes during the live broadcast. I want you to share. I want you to follow. I want you to stay here. G Dagger said wisdom. Manny, okay, Manny is one of my top students, you guys. So if you listen to Manny 9 times out of 10, Manny and Twyla and some of these other people that we know are really top students, and they're gonna give you the right answer. Okay, Manny. Intuition is what you use when you've never experienced a thing. Okay, you've never experienced a thing. So what's happening is because you're not understanding how to get into that intuitive state. You're not understanding how to decode or discern these intuitive moments in your life, right? And I always say that these intuitive moments are going to be the dark spaces. They're going to be the dark ages. They're going to be the private parts of your life, right? This is the stuff that you don't know anything about. What do you use when you're in a dark room? When you're in a dark room, you're in a dark space, you're in a dark forest, you're in a place where you can't see, then what do you use? What do you have on you that you're going to use? Anybody know that? Because if you can't understand this part of it, that's what this message is about today, why we're burning out. We're burning out is because we're trying to use intellect at every level, and life naturally is just not about that. Life naturally is going to give you some spiritual stuff along with some physical stuff. It's going to give you some intellectual stuff, some stuff you've already went through before, along with some stuff you never went through before. Okay, G-Dagger says spatial memory. No, so we like to call it your flashlight. Okay, when you're in the dark ages of life, you need a flashlight. When you're in the private areas of life, you need a private parts of life, meaning the new things in life. You need a flashlight to see your way through. And that flashlight is going to be the pineal. It's going to be your spirituality. It's going to be your connection with nature. If you think about ancient ancestries, how did they live the whole time? You're either going to be in the day or you're going to be scared of the night. Right? If you don't get nothing to eat during the day, then you might be eating. So how did they make it through those darknesses? Darknesses is the first fear of mankind. Somebody put that in the chat, please. Darkness was the first fear for man. Darkness was the first fear of man. Because in that darkness, if I don't build a shelter, if I ain't got no food, I can become food. Darkness was the first fear of man, right? And that's just not literal, but that's also figuratively speaking, right? So when you're walking through life and you're having this new thing come up, you got this new boo, you got this new spouse, this new job, this new community, new neighborhood, you got this new thing happening to you, this new disease, all this stuff is darkness. You're in a dark space. You're in the private parts of life. How do you maneuver through if you've never been there before? You need to learn how to use your flashlight. That's your pineal. That's your spirituality. That's your third eye. And so what I'm telling you, that the ancient people use their relationship with nature to get through those dark times in life. And you also must do the same thing. And what's happening is when you're trying to be so intellectual in some of these intuitive parts and aspects of life, you burn out. When you don't know a thing, you can't rest. You can't understand. You can't fathom why. You can't believe this happening. And that's what causing the exhaustion paradox in our particular community today. Because we forgot how to be assured and insured. We forgot how to rest. Now, if you look at this thing right here, the sun is ruling the day. But what happens at night? So you got the son of God in the day, then you got the set, right? The set. So you got Heru or Horus, the hours of the day. And then you got Set here or Satan here ruling the night, right? So these are the two suns, the sun and the moon. It's two suns, that's it. The sun and the moon, the two suns within each and every one of us. Aries got some dark, Libra. That don't mean the Libra is the bad part of you. It means that it could be the hidden part of you, the dark part of you that you don't know exists. Every Taurus got some down here too. So the Taurus in the day, that's your sun sign. But what about your dark sign? The other side of you. That's the Scorpio of a Taurus. The Gemini, that's your sun sign. Well, the Sagittarius is the dark sign of you. Okay, Cancer, that's your sun sign. The Capricorn is the dark side, and you flip it back and forth. If your Capricorn is the sun sign, then your dark sign is the Cancer. Everybody got these two signs. And what's happening is, again, you're spending 90% of your time in loops and in cycles because you want to stay in the summer. You want to stay in the sun, but nature doesn't work like that. And you get exhausted. And this exhaustion paradox is ravaging each and every one of us. The Libras are Aries. Okay, I just told you that, right? So most humans have more conveniences than any generation in history. Modern human beings, we got more conveniences than anybody can ever have. But you got to understand that the machines, they can perform the physical labor. Your food is widely available. Your transportation gets you back and forth faster. Your communication is a little bit more instant than our ancestors. But yet people are still reporting feeling more exhausted than ever before. This must raise some kind of question within you that if life has become more efficient, then why do so many people feel so tired? If it's so convenient and you ain't got to do nothing but pick up your phone, then why you tired for? You ain't cooked. You called Uber Eats. Why you tired? You ain't went to work. You working from home. Why you tired? It ain't like you got the children there at school. Why you tired? Mentally. The answer is going to lie in how humans today and how our human biology evolved to function through the cycles of effort and recovery, and how modern life often disrupts your ability to recover. So you're always pushing out effort, okay? And you got to understand this rhythm, okay? You guys keep tapping, I'm gonna keep talking, okay? You guys got to understand this rhythm, this rhythmic flow that we used to have. So in ancestry, we understood that when the sun went down, it's time to set down, set your butt down somewhere. But now when the sun set, you still got to cook, you still got to do this, you still got to do that, and everything else in the third. You ain't never resting the way that you should be. It's 12 hours, the 12 signs, 12 hours of day. And then you got 12 hours of set, 12 hours of Heru or Horus, or 12 hours period. And then you got 12 hours to set down somewhere. And this is a rhythm that once you get out of it, you're definitely prone to disease. Okay? In natural environments, work and recovery occurred in predictable patterns. Okay? When you're talking about our ability to hunt or gather, that was followed by rest. Daylight activity was followed by darkness and sleep. Seasonal cycles of intense work and slower periods. We understood how that ebb and flow. Social rhythms, such as communal meals and shared downtime. When the last time you ate together? These patterns allow the nervous system to reset. They allow the nervous system to alternate between the two states of sympathetic and parasympathetic, of activation and recovery. And this alternation itself is the key to our resilience that is plaguing the modern human today. You're not resilient. You got allergies, you got cold and flu, you easily to get sick, easily to break down. I watch basketball nowadays. I say Joker break his ankles every five minutes. Not resilient. Stronger, faster, bigger, braver, but still more fragile than ever before. How many of you guys understand that? Put some ones in the chat. And this sympathetic activation, these dualities, right? That's your fight or flight state. And it's preparing you for action. It prepares you for the rigor mortis of this particular lifetime. But you can't stay chronically in that, you guys. It's preparing you. Yes, it's going to increase your heart rate. It's going to raise your blood pressure. It's going to mobilize you and get you going as far as your energy. But it's also going to sharpen your attention. That's a good thing. But it is useful in short bursts. You can't go this whole journey in sympathetic. You'll burn out. And you can't go this whole journey sleep either. So now you have that parasympathetic activation, right? And this is your rest and repair. But you can't just sit there all the time, because guess what? One of them lions gonna get you. Lion, tigers, and bears, just not only figuratively, literally, but they're also figuratively as far as the things that we got to do in our life of the modern human. So you can't just sit there, rest and repair. But you must understand the importance of rest and repair, because that's going to support your digestion. How many people got digestive problems? How many people are dealing with immune function problems? How many people are dealing with tissue repair? Oh, I want to repair my kidneys and my liver and my gallbladder and this, that, and the third. But you can't find time to rest and repair those things. That's what fasting is. Fasting is giving you the time to rest and repair. But here's the thing. A lot of times when we're resting and repairing, you just think that means sitting around somewhere, but the mind is still going. No, once you start laying down the mind, laying down the body, lay down the mind. Because it's also about emotional regulation. And healthy systems move fluidly between the sympathetic and parasympathetic state. Okay. And when stress cycles can't complete themselves, right? When you can't rest it out, when you can't release it out. Remember that I told you these are your good things right here. It's okay to experience these things, but it's not okay to suppress them because they're going to come over here to doing you wrong, doing you some harm. So you must complete these cycles. And burnout develops when the activation phase becomes prolonged while recovery phases are more shortened. So again, or absent, right? So again, you're walking through 24 hours, you're activated way more than 12. How many people are getting 12 hours worth of rest and repair? Put some ones in the chat if you're getting 12 hours of rest and repair. You guys keep tapping, I'm gonna keep talking. So even if I told you that you got a superpower, right? Because we all do. So even if I told you that your superpower is thinking, if you burn out, that doesn't become super anymore. Even if I told you your superpower is how you feel about things, if you burn out, that's not super anymore. Even if I told you that your superpower is the tangible things, you putting your hands on it, writing and journalizing, all this type of stuff and creativity, if you burn out, that's not super no more. Even if I told you that your superpower is your belief system, your spirituality, what you speak, you can manifest things from your voice. If you burn out, that's not super anymore. Everybody get this. And we have several modern things, several modern conditions that are contributing to this thing not being completed. When you got that constant connection to your digital devices, there's no rest and repair. You got long work hours, or you got irregular schedules, like women working third shift. Why should you work a third shift? Girl, you're going to always have hormonal imbalances. You should never be working third shift. You have to sleep. Sleep is very conducive to the women's hormones. But you got to work long hours and you got irregular schedules, and so therefore you are out of rhythm. Then now we look at capitalism and the economic pressure and the job insecurity. Adds more pressure. Won't sleep. Okay. You got information overload, just scrolling and trying to learn this, that, and the third. Can't sleep. Can't sleep, you can't rest, and you can't repair. And let's not talk about the actual artificial light that's coming from our TVs and our devices that is interrupting our sleep when you're in the bed, trying to sleep. Okay. These factors maintain sympathetic activation. That's why even when you come here, I try to tell you that you need to close your eyes and your ears. When you're doing meditation, when you're doing humming, because humming is the best sound that you can make. You don't need no sound bowl. You don't need nobody guided meditation. You don't need no music. You create the music, but you got to hear yourself. When you close your ears, and when you close your eyes and you breathe in and out, that sound right there is the frequency that you need to get you from alpha to theta, from theta to gamma. That sound right there is better than Usher. That sound right there is the frequency that you need, better than the sound bowl. That sound right there is better than the voice of the guided meditator. That sound right there is better than the piano and the organ player and the drum. Your sound is better than any outsourced commodity. And it automatically will regulate you when you shut down your portals. The portals are the eyes and the ears. And so when you stop taking in and you just start pushing out. Can't you see what I'm doing? Close my eyes, I close my ears. I ain't taking in no more input. There's nothing else I'm taking in no more. I don't want to see nothing. I don't want to hear nothing. So I'm not, and then even with my nose, I'm breathing in the nose. You see how long that exhale is? Come on, somebody. You see how long that I am just in output mode. I'm releasing. I'm regulating. And you'll see that these factors in our modern day, they maintain this sympathetic activation far too long. Especially even after the original stressor is gone, you still in sympathetic mode. And this results in chronic physiological stress. This is the biology of the burnout. And there's no way that it's humanly possible for the modern human to make it to 120 years old, to make it back to his destination. Where you start at is your destination. Somebody put that in the chat. Your starting point is your destination. Somebody put that in the chat. Your starting point is your destination. Where you began is where you're trying to get back to. And you can't run this race without knowing thyself. You can't make it to 120 years old upright without the proper fuel. And you say, well, what's the fuel? Is it food? What's the fuel? Is it what we are drinking? What's the food? Is it what we're feeling? What is the food? Is it what we're thinking? But how about if I told you that all four represent food, because food is information? So it's not just what you're eating, not just what you're drinking. It's not just what you're thinking. It's all of them. It's also what you're feeling as well. And when you got a proper diet of eating, drinking, thinking, and feeling, then now you got the proper fuel to make it back home to where you started from. And this is the prodigal son. But you got to know how to pace yourself in this particular race, my brothers and sisters. See, burnout is not merely psychological. Even research shows you, and it involves measurable changes in several systems. You're talking about your hormonal change on this journey. Chronic stress is going to disrupt your cortisol rhythms here. See, normally your cortisol is going to peak at a certain point, like in the morning, but it's supposed to decline at the night. You remember I told you about estrogen and progesterone and day and night and all masculine and feminine. These are the dualities that should work in a cohesiveness or coherency or a oneness. See? And burnout is going to often be privy of produce irregular cortisol patterns because you stand on cortisol too long. This is cortisol or serotonin, and this is melatonin. You got to have both of them, child. Okay? Other things too, like your immune get affected. Because when you got on that long-term stress, it's going to increase inflammatory signaling. That's how you know you waking up back pain and all that, because you ain't sleeping good. You ain't where you need to be. And elevated inflammation is a sign. You remember that diseases will tell on you. And so elevated inflammation has always been associated, okay, with fatigue and mood changes and increased risk of chronic diseases. And then not only the immune system get affected, but now the brain. And you remember my big word is psychoneuroimmunology. That's what we're talking about. So the brain starts to change because you're on this road and you don't know where you're going. You don't know how you're going to get back to the starting point. And so now chronic stress can start to affect areas involved in the emotional regulation and the decision making. And you heard people talk about this, the prefrontal cortex, the amygdala. These changes may contribute to why you're so irritable, your reduced concentration, and your emotional exhaustion. And this is happening to our children too. This is happening to our children. You're trying to figure out why they can't do nothing but 30-minute videos now, 30-second video. They can't have a song over 2 minutes. No. If you come out with a song, it can't be no more than 2 minutes. Because we're struggling to rest. And rest has been misunderstood. It's the one most misunderstood commodity in life. Because some people just assume that rest means not working. But true recovery involves more than just stopping your activity. Biological recovery requires more. It requires conditions that allow the nervous system to shift. And you got to make sure that that shift is happening from the sympathetic to the parasympathetic dominance. But the thing about it is the life that you're living today and you're not knowing thyself, it starts to interfere and interrupt that shift. And it don't matter how many love songs you hear, you're still stimulated. It don't matter how many sounds you hear, how many yoga practices you go to, how many church meetings you attend, you're still stimulated. It won't allow you to make the shift. There's so many people who I can't make that shift. I'm hugging trees, I'm sleeping in the grass, I'm grounding, I'm in the waters, I'm by the ocean, but I still can't make that shift, HerbMan. And again, it's because of this continuous digital stimulation, artificial noise and artificial lighting all around us, mental rumination, and that mental rumination about work and about your responsibilities keeps you up and keeps you ailed. The social expectations that you put on yourself of constant productivity keeps you burning out. Even when people are not working, their nervous system remains activated. How many of you guys know that? Put some ones in the chat. Even when you lay down, the brain is still up and running. And the brain power still means you're stimulated. And what I'm telling you is that under that stimulation, even if you can manifest your life through thought, it's not as powerful as it needs to be. Under this stimulation, even if you manifested your life through writing, you still don't have enough fuel to get there. You get exhausted. The biology of the burnout. And you must understand that rest versus recovery. We need to distinguish rest versus recovery. Remember, I always told you guys that you need to sleep, rest, and recover. Those are 3 different concepts. And sometimes when you just go to and lay in the bed, you ain't rested, you won't sleep. And if you won't sleep, you can't recover. Some of y'all just want to go straight in there from jumping off of Jack, jumping off of John, jumping off the laundry room, jumping off the kids and studying, jumping off the TV, straight into the bed. You ain't rested. You won't sleep. Sleep is essential for the brain and your metabolic restoration. But rest means that you've reduced your physical and cognitive demand for the day. Recovery is the physiological process of restoring the equilibrium after the stress. And when you're looking at true recovery, true recovery, somebody put in the chat, true recovery. When you're trying to heal yourself, that's what you come here for. You want to heal your finances, but you got to be able to, when you do this, that's when the thoughts will come that you can manifest the proper way. When you rest, when the sun go down, when you're able to rest, that's when your writing get fire to manifest from your journaling. When you rest, that's when your feelings get stronger for you to be able to manifest from your emotions. When you rest, that's when your talk game get fire for you to be able to manifest the things that you're speaking. True recovery can involve a lot of different things, but one of them is a quiet environment. Another one is what I keep teaching you guys about humming. That's a relaxation practice. Slow breathing, right? What I just shown you, that is going to help you recover, regulate, okay? Another one is time in nature, which a lot of you guys are just not quantifying. So when you get your owner's manual, when you get your blueprint, it tells you how to go outside and what to do when you out there based on your tendencies, based on who you is and your makeup. Remember that the owner's manual and the blueprint is a customized, personalized health assessment on you that's going to also introduce you to the nature-based interventions that may be necessary for you to help yourself regulate. May not help your daughter or your spouse, but it'll help you. You got to first put on your oxygen mask before you put on the oxygen mask of others. Recovery can also be the social connections that feel supportive and being around people that are supporting this. That's why I say, just don't be the only one in your home listening to me, because that other person that don't know gonna keep you stimulated. When them children don't know what you're trying to do and change your life, they're going to keep you stimulated. When your job don't realize what you're trying to do to change your life, your job going to be the reason you stay stimulated, stay sick, stay under the control. But when you have a social connection and you have a network of supporters that ain't demanding for you to do something, they understand what the transformation process is, they can help you regulate. You need some people that feel supportive, not demanding. Children demanding, because they don't know what you're trying to do. You haven't exposed to them your transformation process. Do it together. Meet people, date people, marry people that are going to be able to help you with this. Because without recovery, sleep alone will not restore you fully. Okay? Without recovery, sleep alone may not fully restore your energy. Okay? And so what we're trying to get you to understand is that this is a sound wave. This is a sine wave, but it's a sound wave as well. And when you're relearning this rhythmic living, then you can prevent burnout, because preventing burnout requires restoring the rhythms that align with the human biology. And that's what we're doing with the owner's manual and with the blueprint. We're showing you the importance of constant sleep patterns. When the sun go down right here. So this is, when you're looking at the god of the day, right? The Horus, the hours. The sun spent 2 hours in each of these. 2 times 12 is 24. So he spent 2 hours in each of these. 2 times 6 is 12. That's your 12 hours a day. So from 6 to 8 is Aries. From 8 to 10 is Taurus. From 10 to 12. I come on every day from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Why? Because I know that's when the sun is in my sign, the Gemini. From 12 to 2 is Cancer. From 2 to 4 is Leo. From 4 to 6 is Virgo. And then it's time to go to sleep. It's time to start the recovery, the rest. It's the time to start this process after the sun go down. And so I'm teaching you that once we get back on our natural cycle, then you become back supernatural. Ooh, did he say that? Did he do it? You guys keep tapping. I'll keep talking. Did he do it? When you get back on your natural cycles, you become back supernatural. And one of your supernatural abilities is going to be discernment, intuition, self-healing, psychic, stronger, faster, longer, stronger. When you get back on your natural, your supernatural comes back. So we're teaching you about the importance of the sleep patterns. When the sun naturally goes down, you should be, as a man and woman, naturally going down. We ain't worried about society, because that's why I try to tell you 1 million people can change the system. 1 million people. But if you try to do it, you're going to get fired from your job. If you try to do it, your husband may leave you. If you try to do this, your kids ain't going to understand you. If you try to do this by yourself, nobody's going to understand. But if you can do this together, we heal faster together. So, but I got to teach you about thyself. When you get back into tune with nature, these constant sleep patterns, going to bed and waking at similar times helps stabilize your circadian rhythms. Having those breaks during your focused work. It's okay. The brain know how to operate during these particular cycles naturally. And I'm gonna give you a moment, roughly about 90 minutes. And then you need to recover. You need a break. 90 minutes of boom, 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 and then recover. Nobody's doing something all day. Nobody's working out all day, you gym rats. Ain't nobody thinking all day. Ain't nobody doing all that stuff, man. You got to do 90 minutes of spurts, rest, recover. Go outside, get some of this sunlight, whether it's cold, rainy, hot, snowy. Because that morning light, that's what wakes you up, not Folgers. It's not coffee, it's the sun. It's not your alarm clock, it's the sun. And if you're depending on the alarm clock in this, I ain't had an alarm clock go off and I don't know how long. And I'm still gonna wake up at the same time. BC, you DM us, or you go to the website and just type in owner's manual. Okay, type in owner's manual for that little funky measly $50. We give you a 7 to 10 page manual on yourself. Okay, it's worth it. You get a 7 to 10 page manual for $50, you can't beat it. Now that's just your blueprint. If you want the material, then you go and type in blueprint and get the herbs along with your purchase. Okay. Yes, go out there and get it. Morning light is going to help you in your circadian rhythm. Physical movement. It ain't a whole bunch of movement. I try to tell people just move from side to side. When you move from side to side like this, you guys, you're in whole brain coherency off the bat, because the right side of your brain got to move this left leg, and the left side of your brain got to move this right leg. That means that they're working in the coherency. You don't have to do no running and jogging and doing all this stuff. That's why they do Tai Chi, because they're just moving from side to side. If y'all ain't never witnessed Tai Chi, can't you see? It's just the movement from side to side. That's all this is. And you're in whole brain coherency. Okay? Whole brain coherency. The link is in the bio, BC. All right? The link is in the bio, or DM me if you can't find your way. All right. Another thing is this social and emotional support. Very important to us dealing with family members and co-workers and community and neighborhoods. Positive relationships help buffer the stress, and they also support the nervous system regulation. It's important. It's important. I don't want you to burn out along your journey. Somebody give me a birthday real quick. Let me show you something. Somebody give me a birthday real quick. I want to say something real quick. Anybody, just give me your full birthday really quick. I don't need everybody. Just one birthday. Just one birthday. Okay, thank you, Tori. Tori Ski. Okay. Thank you, Tori Ski. That's 3377. Okay. 3377. Watch this now. 3377. Real quick. Okay. So obviously, they were born on, I don't know what will it call you, a brother or sister, but obviously they were born on March the 3rd, 1977. Okay. So if you go from 221 to 321, this person would normally be a what? A Pisces, right? Okay. So Toski started their journey right here. So Toski started the journey right there. Now Toski is 2 years older than me. Okay. So that means that they are what? 49. Okay. They 49 because they just had a birthday. Right. So now we're just going to track this brother around, or track this person around this thing, and show you how you can burn out along this trail. Okay. So if you say 221 to 321, that means that they might have did about, I'm going to give them about 17 days. Let me make it exact. What my exact sheet at here? I'm just going to show y'all something very important about the owner's manual and the blueprint. Okay. So this person is a Pisces. Pisces stopped at March the 20th. So they did 17 days. Right. So they did approximately 5.8 years. Okay. 5.8 years in Pisces. Now we already know that they just turned 49. Each one of these lessons, these 12 lessons, 12 signs, they last 10 years. Get a 10-year lesson. They only did 5.8 years of Pisces and got that lesson, right? So you got to come back and do the rest. All right. So 5.8, right? We'll say 15.8, 25.8, 35.8, 45.8, right? So 45.8 minus 49, what you get? What you get? So if you 49.0 and you did 45.8, cross out the 9, get an 8 there. So you got 2, 8 and 5, that's 3. So you did 3.2 years in which sign? 3.2 years in which sign, right? 5.8, 15.8, 25.8, 35.8, 45.8. So you've only done 3 years of Leo. So this is where you actually at right here. Let me draw your man. So Toski done made it all the way from Pisces, all the way up this hill, all the way to the summertime of life. He's in Leo. They are in Leo. Leo is a very good time of Toski's life. Okay. Leo is your skillful side. It's your prideful side. It's when the sun is shining on you. That means this is when you're doing your thing. You know what you're doing here, right? But you already 49. And you look how far you got to go to get back to Pisces. See, I want to illustrate it to you because sometimes when you read it in the Bible, you can't see yourself in that. Sometimes when you looking at other folk and you reading other folk book, you can't see yourself in the book. But that's why you get your owner's manual. That's why you get your blueprint, so you can start to see yourself in this paradigm. That brother done, this person done marched all the way up this hill of life. And then I can also tell Toski this right here: 5.8, 15.8, 25.8. So around 30 years old, around 30 to 40, you had some life-changing things happen to you, Toski. The owner's manual, your blueprint. Go to the website, type in blueprint, type in the owner's manual. That's what this is called. You see what Torsky just said? Yes, sure did. I don't know Torsky. Okay. You just DM us, or you go to the website, type in owner's manual or the blueprint. Okay. So now we know that this was a heavy life-changing events through 30 and 40, right? So now you 49. And so your next one is finna come in a little bit. You see? Your next, so if this is 35.8, 45.8, this is going to be 55.8. So then your next one going to come between 60 and 70 years old. But now you're going to be transitioning here back down into your spiritual consciousness. So right now you're outwardly, that's fine. This time you'll be inwardly. Right now it's physical. Do your thing. When you get that transition, it'll be inwardly. But here's the thing. Virgo is about health and fitness, health and awareness, health consciousness. You got to know this. Otherwise, this could be a very detrimental time for you in your 60s and 70s. See, but you don't know the path. You don't know what's up ahead. See, that Leo look good for right now, but that Virgo can come in and bust you upside the head. Because you're back in your other transition from 60 to 70 years old, you're actually trying. That means that can be another life-changing situation where Virgo is talking about your health. You better hope it ain't that. And you'll see that the lack of knowledge is what's taking us out of the journey. See how far you got to go. And when you get back here, you'll be 120 years old, Torsky. Okay? That's what you're aiming for. That's what this visualization is for. How far do I got to go to get back to full circle, to get back to destination? How far do I got to go without burning out? The burnout is not simply a failure of motivation or resilience. It is often the result of living in environments that are disrupting your natural cycles. Burnout is also caused because you have the lack of knowledge of what it takes to live a life of full circle. And understanding the biology behind burnout, it allows us to reconsider how work, rest, and recovery are structured in your modern life. It is a biological requirement for maintaining long-term health and performance. You must know thyself. And when we're talking about the owner's manual, that's what an owner's manual does. It gives you the longevity out of that piece of equipment. It tells you how to use it, right? The usage. And it's also, if you do it right, you get the optimal performance. That's what your owner's manual will do for you. But you can't do this without that information. And this is what they've been lacking to teach us, is to show us where we are. Oh yeah, he said I'm in my Leo, that's cool. But then look how far I gotta go to get back to where I started. This is your destination. Where you start at is where you're trying to get back to. This joker right here on this path of life must know that they're trying to get back. Do you know where you are? Do you know where you're going? The owner's manual and the foundational blueprints is the GPS system to your health and your wealth and your understanding of the life lessons that you're in. That's what this is all about, giving you a visual. Finally, I get a visual of my life and not trying to see it through the eyes of other folk. Trade the goddess. All you got to do is DM me and we'll get you that information. Or you just go to my website and type in owner's manual or type in the blueprint, foundational blueprint. Okay. The difference between the two is the foundational blueprint comes with your material, your herbs. Okay. Anybody else got any questions? Anybody else got any questions thus far? So I just wanted to do a person because I wanted you to see what you're going to see. Yes, your starting point is your destination. Yes, yes, yes. I just wanted you to see what you're going to see. Okay. I just wanted you to see what you're going to see. I wanted you to see how far off you is. I wanted you to see that you're walking down this hill. You see that? That little joker finna walk down this hill. Now, the thing about walking down the hill is you got to watch your speed. Uh-huh. See, because if you walk too fast, you'll tumble down the hill. So when you're looking at walking up a hill, it's about more safety and security, right? Because you don't want to roll down it, right? So you want to make sure you're safe and you're holding. But when you start going down, you got to watch speed. One of them is safety, the other one is speed. Okay, speed. Also, we understand by this by Torsky's number right here. That if you add them up, this is 3 and 3 is 6. Okay, 3 and 3 is 6 plus 17 plus 7 is going to be what? 24. That's also going to be a 6. Okay, that's going to be 12. 1 plus 2 equals 3. So now your life path 3. Okay, so now Torsky, we understand your superpower is your mental power, right? Because the 3 represents the fire element. That's the mental health department. If you think on a thing, if you understand your thought life, you can manifest through your thoughts. But also, you're very determined, very successful when you're determined. But when that's blocked, you can have self-control issues. That means watch your pancreas, watch your digestive system, watch your blood sugar when you have these self-control issues. Also, from the fire element is the spirituality, right? Number 9. The 3 8s and the 9s are the fire elements. So you got a little bit of this too. Okay. So now we understand that yes, you have this spiritual consciousness. Yes, you have this good open-mindedness about spirituality and all that. But again, if you can't get high off of information, you tend to be addicted to stuff that can get you falsified interests in alcoholism and drugs. Torsky. We know the things that can break you down. Now, you also is a Pisces, so you got some water in you too. Unforgiveness. Okay. Yes, you like pleasure. Watch your reproductive system though. Okay. The other water in you is, yes, you got that good outlook we talked about, that good perspective about things, right? But you also must watch that because you could be a little delusional and not face reality. What's the other part of him? Every Pisces, the alternative is a what? The Virgo. So there go your earth now coming in. You're prone to stress and anxiety. Yes, you do like stability, structure, and safety. But if that's blocked, you can start to find stress and anxiety. That's going to cause high blood pressure, kidney issues, bone issues, fatigue, adrenal issues. Now let's look at the other earth in you. Creativity and communication. That's a great soup for you. But if you don't watch out for that, you can be overweight. You can have thyroid issues. It's the total you. The total you. You see what I'm saying? The total you. And Torsky said, hitting it on the nail. Okay, I don't know that person, but I just wanted to show you guys that this is very important for you to track yourself. This is your health GPS system, and you can burn out when you don't know where you are. See, when Torsky first started out, this was an inward thing, a spiritual thing. Even right here, some things might have happened because this was a crossover too. So early on in life, there was some life transitions early on. Right? I'm gonna say between 10 and 20 years old, between not 10, I would say, well, yeah, I could say between that 5 and 10 years old. Maybe you moved, or maybe there was something from your past that came, or something happened even in that time. From 5 to 10 years old. Early on in life. But it was a more spiritual thing. It had nothing to do with you. So you started out with some spiritual stuff going on. And then now you're doing your thing. You see that? Torsky said, yes, almost drowned. Which one of these signs is the water sign? Pisces. He almost drowned. They almost drowned. I don't know if you're he or she. They almost drowned in the water. I can't make this stuff up. I can't make it up, man. And all that person gave me with this number here, I didn't need no location, no time. I ain't need your social security number. I ain't need your bill folder, your credit card number. I didn't need your address. We don't need none of that no more, man. We just need to know nature. Don't burn out, Torsky. Look at how far else you got to go. Keep your mind focused on your health. Keep your mind focused on your health. These are all life lessons, okay? So right now, Leo, you're doing good. Stay doing good. Virgo is going to be about your health, okay? Health and fitness. You may grow more health conscious as you continue to move through this phase. But right now, you should be doing very well for yourself from a skill standpoint, from what you know. You should be very confident, okay? And that's a good thing. But life still moves on to the next lesson. So we want you to continue to push out as much as you can, but understand that you're coming through that transition between 60 and 70. So you want to be able to transition very smoothly back into this spirituality thing here, because you're going to be older when you get into fall and winter. Now imagine an old person or a baby in the fall and winter that's not prepared. This information is going to give you the fuel. Even right now, this live is going to give you the fuel, because now you have the knowledge. Somebody told me, man, I watched this dude and he told me to watch out because I'm coming down the hill. And now I started being more conscious of what things were going on in my life. And that's all we need, is that consciousness, that flashlight. And so you can lie to your doctor, you can lie to your pastor, you can lie to your lawyer, you can lie to your therapist, you can lie to everything, but you can't lie to Mama Nature. Because when you give me this date, you was written in the book of life. When you give me this date, she automatically pull you up. She know who you is. You can't tell her no lie. Tosha said, yes, that's where I'm at right now. There you go. Stay there. This divine awareness is going to allow you to be able to maneuver better than you ever have before. So the biology of burnout is due to the lack of knowledge of thyself. Simply plain, the biology of burnout, you guys, is due to the lack of knowledge of self, okay? All right, it is 11:16. I should have already been at 100K, you guys. Y'all are doing some injustices today, but it's all good, okay? I didn't want to come on here long, but I definitely want to come on here strong, okay? And I wanted you to understand what you're seeing here, what you're witnessing when you come to the live, okay? What you're seeing, what you're witnessing when you come to the YouTube page. You guys follow, hit the follow button. Make sure that you're here every day between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so that you guys can start to learn this stuff for yourself. We also have a HerbMan school. Okay, we have the early bird special. If you guys want to get into the school so that you can learn this for yourself, especially if you're the caretaker of your family, if you want to get your children taken care of, if you want to be able to do this for your community, this is a system that is bar none one of the top systems. It is the top system on the planet. The top health assessment that you can get is not by taking a blood sample, it's not by blood type, it's not by hair sample, stool sample, urine sample, it's not by that little nasty bump down there. It's not about that. It's about this number right here. This number right here is your manufacturing date. And we know every piece of equipment got this. And it gives you the model number. So you got a manufacturing date, birthday, the model number of this person is a 3. Okay, so just because they're Pisces doesn't mean that it goes to do something with water. This person is a Pisces, but they are a fire bender. So they got to do stuff with their mind, not their emotions. Peace, peace. They got to do something with their mind, not their emotions. Okay? They got to do something with their mind, not their emotions. So you can't group every Pisces you can't go by these zodiac signs like that. You got to go by the systems. You can't just go by it just because you're a Gemini. You're going to be wrong. That's too generic. Okay? That's why these people are coming up and telling you that the zodiac is not real, because there's a more systematic approach to this thing. There's more into it than just simply saying, yeah, I'm a Gemini, I'm an earth sign, and you guys must be able to do this and do that. That is not right. There's more into it, okay? More into it. Any other questions, you guys? Any questions thus far? Keep tapping. I'll keep yapping. I ain't got that long with you, though. I ain't gonna stay with you that long today. If you guys are interested in your owner's manual, go to the website, type in manual, or you can DM me. If you're interested in your blueprint, go to the website, type in blueprint, or you can DM me. If you're interested in the HerbMan School and you want to learn this, the early bird special is $1,000 until the end of March. If not, you want to get on the payment plan, it's $100 per month, but you got to get in before the end of March. Okay? Period, point blank, bottom line. Any other questions? No more birthdays, you guys. Don't even worry about it. No more birthdays. Questions. Questions. Toski, yes, I've been working with my mental health. So important to me. You're good, man. That's your superpower, though, Toski. Your mental health is your superpower. So you got to watch what you're thinking, because if you start thinking negative, you manifest that in your life through your thoughts. Okay? If you guys want to get read, you're going to have to give me some gifts, okay? Giftings, big gifts. Big gifts will get you a reading. But other than that, I'm not just reading you because you throw your number up there. This stuff hard work. Brenda, thank you anyway. Yes. I did enough for you, Brenda. Without having to do your birthday, I've done enough. Any other questions? Okay? Any other questions, you guys? I know I got my YouTubers on here as well. So appreciate y'all, my YouTubers, as well, for the love and the support. You guys, please follow, subscribe if you're really trying to get to know this stuff. Root chakra healing. Yes, because that is the main thing, right? Stability, safety, security, that's the main thing. But when you can't get this going, then it's going to cause that stress and anxiety, which can lead to the blood pressure, the fatigue, the lethargy, the adrenals, the kidneys, et cetera, bones, arthritis, all that type of stuff. So yes, the root is going to be the biggest thing, because basically what this is heaven and earth, right? This is mind and body, spirit and body. You must be able to merge them together. Where do we meet at? A lot of us are trying to just go straight up. You don't have to do that. A lot of us are trying to come straight down. You don't have to do that. You meet in the middle. Okay, you meet in the middle. All you need to do from here is get here. All you need to do from here is meet them there. Okay? Right. Get to find the manual. Got to find the manual. Yes. If water is your element, which deals with emotions, how you're supposed to move in that element. If water is your element, that's not what I'm talking about. Whatever your life path number is, Manissa, whatever your life path number is. So you asked me the wrong question the wrong way, I can't understand it. Because there's a lot of water elements. Yeah, emotions, so feelings. The life path 11 is feelings. So your feelings, if you feel bad about something, then you will manifest negativity in your life. If you feel positive about something, you will manifest positivity. That's how you move. Watch how you feel about stuff. Simple as that. If you feel negative about something, you're going to bring that into your life. You're going to manifest it. If you feel positive, you're going to manifest that. So then what is it all about? When you say moving in my element, what does that mean? That you got to watch how you're feeling about things, or you put yourself in the right environment that keeps you feeling positive about things. If I know that my feelings is my superpower and I don't want to be feeling negative about nothing, so that means you got to find the right people. See, what y'all are trying to do here, and this is what I'm trying to get you to see. If you're talking about getting a job that don't know this information, then that job is going to always be fighting against your positivity. If you're talking about dating somebody down in hell that don't know this consciousness, then that spouse is always going to be fighting against you and what you know about thyself. So the bottom line is, Get up and graduate up and get to people that are up here too. Get to businesses and jobs and entrepreneurships and get to the crowd that knows you, that stays up here as well. That way now you're around that support system. You can't change nobody else just because you feeling good. If they don't know this information, you still are going. Environment does what? Environment eventually will change the cell. So that means that environment will eventually change the person. So if you trying to do positivity around negativity, come on, man, that don't even make no sense. So we got to get up to where we need to be. We got to meet the right people that we need to be. Again, you guys are getting this information by yourself. And you're trying to figure out how to change somebody else with it. It won't happen. It won't happen. You trying to figure out how to change the thought power. Maybe I could change my wife's mind. No, that won't happen. This is what we call unequally yoked. Okay. He said I got feeling power, so I can change their feelings. No. He said I got good talk game, so I can change it, manipulate them with my voice. No, it won't happen. The people have to be able to resonate at the same level. Otherwise, environment will influence the self. You see? So remember that we can't try to make a life down here in our lower selves once we get this higher self-consciousness. You have to then graduate up here and then start dealing with people up here. Y'all understand that? I know that's scary, but it's true and it's necessary, because now I'm teaching you guys, when y'all come to the HerbMan School, I'm teaching you the importance of environment. You can't overstep and overstand that. In order for this tree to grow, in order for this plant to get to a rose, it's all about environment. It's about the soil. It's about the sunlight. It's about the air. It's about the water that this plant gets to get to this level. In order for this plant to grow, you guys, it's all about environment. And if the soil ain't right, it'll start turning yellow and feeble. If it ain't getting enough water, it'll start hunching over. If it ain't getting enough sunlight, it'll be thin and dry and withering away. If it ain't getting enough, you understand me? If it not got enough nutrients in the soil, it has no power to make it. That's the importance of environment. That's the importance of environment. Yeah, no, it's not scary. It's not scary. It's because, again, we're on here learning together. See, again, you heal faster together. So you see all the community of people, you start tagging these people in the live. You start to conjoin with people that is on the same thing. Yeah, I listen to HerbMan. There's a brother on here right now that listening to HerbMan, Manissa. There's a business opportunity right now on this show right here that is thinking like you in business, in relationship, in everything. And so you just build from the community. But you trying to take this information back to your boyfriend, girlfriend, and your boss, and your mom and dad, and they ain't never heard this. Oh man, you got an uphill battle going on, you guys. So environment, because then who gonna water you? Who gonna water you? Who gonna shed light on you? Who's gonna provide the right air that you need in order for you to continue to grow up into this thing? The plant didn't do it by itself. I know that's the first thing people want to say is myself. This plant could not live by itself. It was rooted and grounded, and then it had the firm faith and dependency in natural things, the nature. And nature bring you to stuff, but see, y'all be so dynamic that you don't really like boring men, and you don't like, you call them boring, you're labeling people, but that might be the right water you need. You've been fussing all your life. Get somebody that don't fuss. You've been fighting all your life. Get somebody that don't fight. Say, yes, they will give you the blues. I choose not to share 2 negatives. There you go. 2 negatives on a battery don't even crank up the car. It must be a negative and a positive to crank that car up and put it into motion, right? Those negatives and positives are not bad and wrong. Those negatives and positives are simply this: duality, working as a oneness, right? So when you're looking at negatives and positives, let's stop the labeling and saying that negative means wrong. And let's stop thinking that positive means right. There are 2 necessary energies that must work together. Masculine and feminine energy within your brain must work together. So once you stop being inwardly divided, an individual, and you come out of that understanding that you have you need to find that other energy to make your boat go, to make your car move. You got to find that other energy. Okay? And a lot of us are finding ourselves. So you got 2 positives, 2 masculine energies that won't make the car go. You got 2 feminine energies, 2 negative energies. It won't make the car go. Remember, this not wrong and rights. These not goods and bads. These are necessary energies that must work together as a oneness. But you find it, first of all, inside, inwardly first. You got to marry yourself first before you can understand how that process works in nature. And a lot of us are not married within. Some of us, our mind is going somewhere while our bodies is going another place. Your mind is saying, do this, and your body is saying, do that. Some of you guys, your body is in control and your mind is just going away. So when your body is in control and your mind is just off somewhere, then the body doesn't have a stop sign. The only stop sign in your body is your mind. But if it's wayward, that's why you can drink yourself to death. You can drug yourself to death. You can work yourself to death, because without the mind being present in the body, the mind is the only stop sign in the body. And when that stop sign is not aware, the body will indulge itself until it can't no more. Everybody get that? Everybody get that? Any other questions? Any other questions? If you guys need any products, DM us and we'll get you to the right location. Anybody else got any other thing to say? You need to say like go. Ivana said yes. I get you. I got you. You guys keep tapping. I'm gonna keep talking. We got about 29 more minutes left on the live. I may end it before that if you guys don't have any questions or concerns. Have I explained myself enough about the biology of the burnout? It's simply due to the lack of knowledge of self. Okay? And the more we start getting in tune with this information, now you can start to manipulate this abundance to your favor. Mama Nature is the most fertile thing on the planet. What that means to me is that you got to watch your ideas, because they can spring up just like a baby can, right? I call my ideas my babies anyway. My creativities are my babies. And so you can create the life through thought, through your feelings, through what you say, and through what you do. Okay? Trying to get to the website. Can you post, please? Brenda, loveherbman.com. It ain't that hard. Okay? Loveherbman.com. I don't know why you're trying to get to it. It's LOVEHERBMAN.com. Or you just simply DM us. There you go, right there. My moderator right there. My wife right there. Brenda, you see that? www.loveherbman.com. She helped you out. Okay? Anybody else got any other questions, man? We're going to go ahead and shut it down. Like I said, I got some packages to ship out today. If I've missed you guys in your owner's manual, if I missed you guys in shipping or whatever it is, please email us and we'll get you taken care of immediately. Get you taken care of, man. We got a good little batch of herbs in. We have a great system that we're working with. This thing is just exploding and it's taking off in a lot of different areas of the world. UK being number one, because y'all don't know, but the UK, you can get a degree in medical astrology. So they kind of know what I'm doing. I don't do it like they teach it, but they know about it enough to be interested in it like that. But then we're also going to be stationed over in South Africa. So hopefully we can get the South Africans on board. I work with a few, but we need more. We need more. This is a world machine, a world movement. So we need more South Africans, need more Africans in general to be able to come back to nature. We ain't got to use shells and cheese no more. Okay? We ain't got to use shells and cheese no more. All right. All you can do is just use the time that the person came into the matrix. Now, I know in some countries, y'all don't know your birthday, y'all don't know this and know that. That's fine, you know. But again, disease will tell on you as well. So once you start telling me what your issues is, we can start to understand exactly what's going on in your life. But we don't have to use shells and cheese no more, my fellow African brothers and sisters. We ain't got to do all of that old smoke and mirrors. Okay. We can simply start to know and understand the ancestral concepts by the entrance into the matrix, when that person came from the water into the air. Okay. Or you can know a person by their disease. Okay. I was going to ask you about my shipment of herbs. What did you order, Dwayne? Because I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything with your name on it. Okay. The 30-day nervous system is a download. So that was just a downloadable item. That's the only thing I saw that you ordered. If you need nervous system herbs, then you just let me know. Anybody else? It done got cold back over here in America, man. 2 days of cold, a whole week of hot. No wonder folks sick. Then the food ain't no good. It's just crazy. You see what I'm saying? So that's why you guys need to be patient. You guys need to understand your paradigm that you're in. Yeah. Dear me, because I might have been mistaken. So dear me. Gaga Zah said exactly. Yeah, so you just got to watch out, man. You got to watch your pace. Okay, as you go through this paradigm, pace yourself. Pace yourself. Okay, there's going to be things that's going to require your intellect, but there's going to be things that's going to require your intuition. You can't know everything. Okay, and so when you guys are getting confronted with some of these dark ages of your life, you got to cut that flashlight on. That means you got to get to the upper room. That means you got to get that pineal. Right. And the best way for you to be able to get your intuition activated. How many people want to know how to activate your intuition? Really quick. This is a real quick question. How many people want to learn how to activate your intuition and activate your discernment? Put some ones in the chat. Okay. I got some people saying me. The best way to activate it. Okay. I'm going to let y'all come on. Me, 111. Okay. The best way to activate your discernment and your intuition is to go outside into the sun, stay out there for a minute, get yourself dog tired, and then start to sleep better. That's the best way you can do it. The best way you can do this, man, is to go out in the sun, get dog tired, man. You know, get one with nature, get out there and play like you was when you was a little girl or a little boy, when you was in school and in field day. Okay. And you want to just get out there and you want to just play around until you come in the house and you be like, whew, boy, I'm finna take me a bath and go to sleep. And when you start to do this like this, okay, you're going to sleep deeper. In your deeper sleep states is when you're going to start to dream again. When you start to dream again, you're going to start to now remember the dreams. When you start to remember the dreams, then you're going to be starting to now go over into daydreaming. One thing is about night dreaming, but then another thing is about the daydreaming. When you start to transition from the night dreaming to the daydreaming, Now you are able to get back intuitive and discern. Does that make sense? You got to go out in the sun, get dog tired, and come in the house and have deeper sleeps. The deeper sleeps is going to start to activate the dream state again. Then you're going to start to remember your dreams, but that's just at the nighttime when you're sleeping. Now, when you outside in the day for some reason, now you just sit out there in the sun and you're going to start to daydream. When you dream when you are awake and you dream when you are asleep, now you're able to discern and be more intuitive. I can't tell it to you no better than that. Daydreaming and night dreaming will allow you to be able to maneuver better and manifest better through intuitive movement. So that now when you get this business idea, you get this business opportunity, you will know if that's right for you. If you get this brother that you're dating, this sister that you just met, you'll know if they're right for you. Because your dreams in the day and the night will allow you to start to be able to circumvent and maneuver better around these obstacles that's coming to you in the name of love and finances and all your wants, needs, and desires. Your wants, needs, and desires, these are the things that will stop you and buffer you. So a joker know how to come in here and say exactly what you need if you tell them. The joker know how to come in here and tell you exactly what you want if you tell them. A joker know how to come in here and give you exactly what you desire if you tell them. But if you don't tell them and you just become a listener, the joker let you know that he ain't gonna give you what you need. If you just a listener, that person let you know that they ain't who you want. If you just a listener, they'll let you know that they can't give you what you desire. But if you're trying to play the game with them, because of these things for you, you need a man. So you're going to overlook them red flags. You want a man. So you're going to overlook them red flags. You desire companionship. You will overlook them red flags. And your reasoning is not there any longer because the brother, sister, whatever the situation has got you too overly stimulated. So therefore you dream and you build your life from now. And when you can dream and build your life from now, now you know when they come that they're not the right ones for you. Okay? That this business deal ain't the right thing for me. But it's all going to be in the dream state. The intuitiveness and the discernment helps you maneuver from the pitfalls of life. So that means that, again, remember I told you this is intellect and intuition. So some of you guys think because you have been with men that you know that particular man. So you're using intellect instead of intuition on the brother. Some of you guys think that just because you had businesses before, that this business is the same business because it's a business. It ain't the business that you've ever been in before. So you're using intellect on this business idea instead of intuitiveness. Some of you guys think that just because you've always desired this and it's always been a part of you, that now that you finna get this desire, that you can just use what you've been doing to maintain this. This is something new. Stop going into this stuff like you know and start going into this stuff with the flashlight, the intuitiveness and the discernment. This is a dark space. I've never met James Jones in my life. And you treat James Jones like you don't know men. You treat this business idea like you don't know business. Because then you're going to be more careful. You're going to be more analytical, more critical. You're going to be more, you're going to pay more attention. Does that make sense? You treat this stuff like you've never been in it before. They are dark spaces to you. You keep going in there with that confidence. Oh, I've been married before, and I done had plenty of boyfriends and girlfriends, and man, you finna get tricked again. You finna have another girlfriend and boyfriend, and you finna be in another marriage, because you can't go into it with the same stuff. New people present new things. That newness must be confronted with intuition, not intellect. Okay? And with that being said and done, man, I'm going to get up out of here. If you guys need me, y'all know how to get in contact with me. You can DM me, you can email me. You can do whatever you need to do to get in contact with me. All right? You can call me, whatever people that want to call, you call between 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, okay? I love you guys, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Please go tell somebody about your homie HerbMan. And until next time, love HerbMan. Peace. Peace, 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 my brothers and sisters. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. Go with peace. Go with peace. Peace, yes, yes. Peace. Go with peace. Peace.